How are y'all doing? Waking up with a hoarse voice as usual. Hold on. Let's see. I might do better without the light this morning. Let's just try it like that. Good morning. I'm getting ready to go to church and trying to come out here just speak to y'all and see how y'all were doing since I didn't get a chance to come out here but once yesterday. But I got my hair done, so that's where I was. I put it in the holder because I can be putting my shoes on while y'all coming in here. But this morning, y'all, I woke up in the middle of the night last night, and I had left the phone on because I was listening to a story about Diddy's son. So y'all get in here so we can talk about it. I ain't know nothing about that. All this drama going on out here on YouTube and baby stuff is going on in the real world. That's why I try to keep y'all abreast of what's really happening. I do. Uh-huh. Baby, this stuff here was on YouTube, and this was setting YouTube on fire. Now this was fire. So let me be putting my shoes on because I don't want to be late. Anyway, let me get started because I see people up in here. Hit the like button when you come in. Thank you. So, y'all, I was laying there this morning and I just woke up out of nowhere. And this was playing. And it says, Diddy's son got a life sentence. And I was like, are you dreaming? I didn't even know he was going to court. So I picked up the phone. And I started looking and I started listening. And I said, this says 2 days ago. So am I the only one that saw that? Nobody else has even mentioned it out here. And so I started listening to it because it was being narrated. And then I just started thinking in my mind, how can you go from being the richest son of one of the richest men in the U.S. to life in prison? That right there shows you your life can change just like that. People worry about the wrong things. Now, when they were together as one big old rich family, nobody saw this on our level. But you got to know that the people who were in that circle knew what he was doing. Everything about what he was doing was corrupt. Laundering money. Why would you need to launder money when you got that much money? So your father's sitting in jail and he's waiting to go to trial in May. And you are already gone to jail. And you're going to be in there for life. He will never make it. I don't know if Diddy going to be able to make it until May. When you think about this, these are people who are used to waking up in a mansion. These are people who get on a jet, not in a car. And they fly around the world wherever they want to. I even saw one video where Diddy was just burning money. You know, put a fire to it. I don't know what the dollar bill was, but he burned it. They get so crazy. That's the only way you can describe it. Because they're not connected with real life and real world anymore. They're above that. I would never want to disassociate myself from the world I know and get so high into a world you don't know and you are always just on pins and needles. I don't know. Everything he touched and he did, both of them, brought them money. But do you see how I always say all money ain't good money? That ain't good money. When you got to spend the rest of your life in jail, and both of them probably will, I don't see any way out now. When I stopped and I started thinking about it last night, and I said, well, if the sun has gone down and he was in and out of the house all the time, the daddy had to have known what he was doing. That's not going to help Diddy's situation either, because that's a connection with racketeering and all of the stuff that he got picked up for. I just am happy not to be in that boat this morning, to have a free, clear conscience where I can get up and I can go do what I normally do on Sunday morning and come on back home and do what I normally do on Sunday evening. And I have to worry about none of that. All the plotting, all the planning. It's only two people that have to do that. The people who are struggling to try to get there do the plotting and the planning to try to manipulate their way through the system, or the ones that have already made it. But even when you make it, you can't trust the people that's up there with you, because y'all are all up there together trying to get more. That's greed. And it ends up where you lose it all. In both situations, they have lost it all. And they will never be able to recapture what they've already had. It's sad, but it's true. When people don't know when to stop in life, when they just keep on doing the same thing because it worked the last time, that's when crooks get caught. They tried it once. It becomes habitual after a few times. And they wake up every morning and that becomes their life, their lifestyle. I'm happy with my life and where I am. And happy having gone to work in my life, not to worry about having or owning a jet, but able to go out there to the airport and get on a jet. And to be free, not to have to worry about looking over my shoulders with somebody coming after me. I don't know how y'all feel about this situation, but it is my opinion that now Diddy is saying that he wished he had been a different kind of father. There is no way you could have been a different kind of father doing all the stuff you were doing. I watched his clip where he has gone through drug withdrawals. He is now supposedly wanting to be baptized. He's found the Lord. Didn't take long. And he's reading his Bible now. He's confessing of his sins in prison with the chaplain there. At some point, he's going to turn your life around. I don't care what you say and how you twist the narrative. He going to come into your life. Now, whether you accept him in your life, that's on you. But you think about it. This man probably hadn't been in church unless it was a relative's funeral or a wedding. And then now that God has sit him down and made him still. And I watched this documentary of him yesterday when Sharita was doing my hair. And he's going through all kind of changes now. When he first got in there, he was on drugs. And of course, he had to be detoxed because he even stopped eating. They didn't even know if he was going to make it. He was in there with an IV in his arm. And to give him the nutrients and the vitamins that he need to survive. And he doesn't even look like himself now. He doesn't care anything about his hygiene. He doesn't care anything about his hair. He always wore a little short, neat haircut. But that haircut is gone. It's growing out, and it looked like he threw some water in it, and it kind of looked wavy, but just all over his head. His prison clothes are even too big for him. And when I saw him laying there with the nurse working on him in the infirmary, I saw a shadow of what used to be a man. His eyes are sunken, and you wonder if this guy's even going to make it until May. With the condition that they described his body and his mental are in. Sometimes they mentioned that he would go down to the cafeteria and he would just get his tray and he would just eat a couple of teaspoons of food and he leaves the tray there. Sometimes when it's time to eat, he doesn't come out of his room. When it's time to go outside for recreation, he's over in a corner staring at the wall around him, looking down on the floor or looking up, knowing it ain't no way out now. That is not easy. When you used to giving the orders, when you used to controlling your business, and you used to having your way about everything, it's your way or the highway. But remember, a lot of things he is now paying for because of what he did to other people. And it's all beginning to come out. And it wouldn't surprise me in May that he pleads guilty to all of it, because he's telling it now to the priest in prison. He's confessing. So some of that may be recorded and on tape. The one documentary that I saw, he's telling him that he's sorry for the life that he's lived and some of the things that he's done to people. He doesn't tell them what he has done, but he's saying he's sorry for the things that he's done to people. I got sense enough to know that if you got any God in your heart, that's the only way you're going to have peace in your life, is you give it up and tell the truth. Because for as long as you keep holding on to this worldly stuff and these worldly issues, he had to let it go because he couldn't sleep at night. It was driving him crazy. You got to have amount of rest. Relaxation is one thing. Sleep is another. Your brain has to relax. It has to stop, just like your body has to stop. Your body, with your head connected to it, has to heal. And it does that when you're sleeping, not resting. You can rest all day and get up and still be tired. You need to go to sleep. That's what this man was not getting. So I would venture out to say, if you know you're never going to get out of there, at least you could apologize to the people. People have a problem with apologizing. That's the beginning of your healing when you do that. You don't have to. It ain't nothing that is written that you have to. It's a choice that you make. It is easier for me to say, oh, if you say I hurt your feelings, not that it matters to me. Oh, okay then. Well, I apologize because I'm going to do me anyway. And I can move on easier because I left that monkey on your back. Okay? I didn't leave fighting mad at you. I see life differently. I can move on without anything or anybody. Because when you go solo and you live your life on your terms, your way, you don't have this big crowd of people around you like they did. They had to have all these people around them to survive. That is the way they kept building money and kept making money. That was their means of survival. Doing corrupt things. I mean, they had it set up like it was a business. Yes, he was in the music business, and that's how it all got started, producing. He was a producer. But from there, you branched off into other things to make money that were not legal. So your son was raised up in this type of environment. He knew nothing else. And he probably was the best at it for a long time. But this kid is young. He's in his 30s. To say that you only had 30 years on the outside, now you're going to have the rest of your life on the inside. He's on suicide watch already. Diddy has been monitored for days just because he quit eating. So now the whole family is just falling apart. A family who used to be so together. Some are seeing it the right way, that this shouldn't have happened, but they had no control over it. Diddy's in there saying he could have been a better father. It's too late. The son is going to face life in prison, has gone. It's too late. So what's left on the outside now is a shamble of what used to be a family. Which would you rather have? The lavish lifestyle or a normal everyday lifestyle where you can enjoy the goods, the fruits of your labor for the rest of your life? So what I say, everybody is so entangled and in this tangled weed of web for money. And then once you get it, you can't do nothing with it. And then I look at these little petty crimes that people do for money. And you go in there and you spend all of those years in there and you don't even have nothing to show when you get out. Most people will, if they can get out, they will have something left on the outside. I just don't understand the minds of some people. If your daddy had this much money, not if he did, why couldn't you take some millions of that and go into the music business and do it right instead of using the music business just as a pawn to do the wrong thing? I guess I just don't understand the minds of people, especially when it gets into the billions, the top tier of the millions. I don't understand it. Because that's when it seems like the greed comes. Instead of enjoying what you've already worked for. I even watched Diddy talk about the dark room. That's the room where everything went down. He said people in there would go in there and lose their souls. That's why that house is still sitting there. Ain't nobody gonna want that house. That house gonna end up like OJ's house. Remember, they tore OJ's house down in Brentwood. Nobody wanted it. It wouldn't sell. Ain't nobody gonna want Diddy's house. If you can afford to build a house like the size of the house he has, why would I want to go up in there and buy his house with all of the things I've heard about that's happened up in that house? No, you got that much money, you can go build your own. Get your own floor plan. This stuff is just over my head. Maybe I'm just too old school to understand it. I don't know. Please get the likes up for me. 71 people in the building and only 27 likes. Thank you. But maybe this should be a lesson for all of us. If you are making money or have made money, don't get greedy. Leave it alone. Be happy with what you have. You could be here today and gone tomorrow. All money ain't good money. Be conscious of the money that you take from anybody. Be careful of the money, how you making that money. Why would you make money and come and just start slinging thousands here and there? If I was the person that was on the receiving end, I would be like, hold up. Whoa. What I'm supposed to do for that? Ain't nobody gonna give you nothing unless they looking for something in return when they slinging money like that. But most people don't think because they don't have. Not a good thing. Mm-mm. So let me get on here because I came on this morning. That have unraveled me so bad because first of all, I didn't even know that the son had gone to prison. And I had to look at it 2 times. I honestly thought I was dreaming. It was at 3 something this morning, almost 4 o'clock. Good morning, Innocent Jefferson. How you doing? Thank you. Good morning, Miss Libra. Happy Sunday to you, Miss Libra. Hope all is well. Good morning, Miss Audrey. Hey, Tangela. See what the new president is doing? No, Tangela, I haven't seen him. I watched Diddy all day yesterday when I was getting my hair done. And I don't know what his latest is, but I know you know. Put it in the chat. Let's talk about it. Let's see. Miss Audrey speaking to Tangela and Innocent Jefferson. Good morning, Ramona J. I am doing great. The only reason I didn't see y'all yesterday is because I was getting my hair braided and I was watching a documentary of of Diddy yesterday while I was getting my hair braided. Yep. Let's see. John is in here and John feels that Diddy should just run for president. He might could if the president we have there now has all those felonies on him. Why shouldn't he? He should be allowed to run from inside. Now, that's what we need to look at here in America also. When you set a president like just happened with him being able to be elected, then why can't they tell Diddy he can't run? Why shouldn't he be able to run if he wanted to run and have an office out of jail? You see how things can really get twisted and messed up when you take it out of context of what it should have been, what the laws have stated, what the Constitution reads. I feel sorry for the younger people having to grow up in this world with the type of people we have that's running the countries now and in politics. Good morning, Carla. Hey, Shatikwa. Love the hair. I like it too, Carla, because guess what? I can take the ponytail down. It was the colors that I put together, and I was like, I don't know if I put too much red in there, because I used white. It's like platinum, gold, dark brown, the burgundy color you see, and then like it probably was an off black. And I sit there and I pull them colors until I pull them all together. So I wouldn't have the big blobs of it. I wanted it where it was like this. But I woke up this morning because I didn't really look at it last night because I was like, if you look at it now and you don't like the colors, because I mix the colors, she does the braiding, and you don't like the colors that she put in there, it's just gonna worry you all night because you ain't gonna take it down and you're not going back to get it done. So when I woke up this morning, that was the first time I really had taken a good look at it. And when I went to wash my face and it was in a ponytail. I just put this up here for today. But I said, okay, girl, you made your living in the beauty shop doing colors. You did that because it's different. It's really different. And I like that. Okay? But thank you, Carla. And I like it in a ponytail too. I was even thinking about taking this down and putting it in a ponytail, but I don't know. Thank you, Miss Audrey. We were gonna do box braids, and I didn't get down there to 2. I was supposed to be down there at 1, and I was like, no, box braids gonna take too long. So she was finished with this in about an hour, a little over an hour. Didn't take no time. That's what I'm talking about. Hi, Ramona J. Always looking classy. Thank you. We got to wear choir robes this morning, so I was like, this will work. Ain't nobody gonna see it anyway. It's just a skirt and a turtleneck. Good morning, Annette. I love you too, beautiful. Thank you. Annette is so positive all the time. Miss Lee, before speaking to everybody, um, good morning, Carol. Thank you for the heart this morning. And she's saying good morning to everybody and the chat room. First time I heard it called the chat room. Okay. Hi, my beautiful Libra. 4, love you, beautiful, always. Miss Libra is such a sweet person. Yes. I've gotten to know her pretty good now because she's been over here ever since I've been out here. Mm-hmm. Bree, welcome, honey. And good morning. Happy Sunday to you. Blessings right back at you. Okay. Good morning, Latasha. And happy Sunday to you, Latasha. I'm so glad everybody's good this morning. Y'all, I did not hear from Tinkerbells. She never got in contact with me. Remember the girl that came into the chat yesterday morning when I was on live that is suffering from adult autism? I never heard from her. So I just pray that everything is all right with her because it really troubled me yesterday evening when I started looking through emails. I started looking through texts and I never saw her. So hopefully she took our advice and called the police or went to the hospital. Because I don't know her personally. I just met her out here on YouTube, just like I met y'all out here in a virtual world. Good morning, sweetness. Thank you. Bree says she loves the hair. Thank you. I just wanted something that was quick. I'm lazy now. Haven't been a hairdresser for almost 20 years. Hair just ain't my thing. I mean, it's just like, as long as it's some up there, and even if something happened where it ain't up there, that's just not my thing anymore. If you've had hair all your life and a lot of hair, and you've done other people's hair, can you not see how that's not a priority to me? I would love to have my hair until I'm out of here and my teeth. My teeth more so than my hair. But if it doesn't happen like that, I'm not fixing to freak out, roll over, and die. Uh-uh. Good morning, trucker's wife. How you doing? I'm gonna make an appointment too, y'all, to go to the doctor. This has been lingering too long. So I'm gonna try to see if I can get into the doctor this week. Because I don't know what it is. A lot of people are suffering with the same thing. They're saying theirs is allergies. Well, I think as cold as it is, we shouldn't be having no allergy problems right now. But what do I know? I'm not in the medical field. Okay. Ms.V, give me that turtleneck. You look all warm and cozy. This was one of the clothing hauls I did. Trucker's Wife. I paid $12 for this turtleneck. It's not thick either. It's good for this weather. See? Yes. And then remember I found the green skirt? I showed y'all the green skirt that went with it. And everything that I did on the haul was this it. Can you see it? Just a green skirt. Yep. And I'm gonna have on a choir robe. Nobody, y'all will see it, but nobody else will see it because we walk in church with the choir robes on, and we walk out of church with the choir robes on, so nobody see it. Um, in his service, good morning. Please give donation to church for me. Thank you. Okay, let me heart it. Okay. Now let me get that down. Okay, in his service, you've done that before. Okay. And thank you. Somebody's gonna see it too. And he might just say something about it. Like, uh, he won't call you out, but he'll say, somebody was blessed this morning to give a donation to the church. That's the way he'll do it. Yep. But from now on, I'm just gonna put something letting him know because he knows that I get donations from time to time on my channel for the church. So maybe I'll just put any service on there, chatting with Ms.V so they will know that it came from y'all out here. Some kind of way. I've got to be able to let them know that it's not mine. It's from chatting with Ms.V. Okay. But thank you again. You have to be happy with what you have in order to be blessed with more. Ooh, that is so true. If you're not happy with what you have, you're going to continue to thrive any way you can to get more. And it ain't going to necessarily be the right way. And then you end up like them. You end up losing it all. So it's very important to me to just go on out there and work for your livelihood. And then you don't have to worry about, I don't have to worry about them taking what I've worked for now. The Social Security or the retirement. It's mine. I work for it. But if I had gone in their direction and kept on and not knowing when to quit, I think that's the thing with most of them. They just don't know when to quit. And that ends up really, really bad. As you can see, nothing is free. Not nothing. We used to could say water was free, but now since they don't want you to drink the tap water, water ain't free. Now, depending on what kind of water you buying out there, it could be very expensive. Um, Carol is agreeing with Trucker's Wife. Okay. Good morning, Tinsley. How are you? That's Tinsley Bell. Everybody's welcoming you. Trucker's Wife. If Diddy be president, everyone would be running around naked having intercourse on the streets. That's pretty much what was going on in the house. Uh-huh. But I think it's sad that he had to find, it appears that he's finding the Lord now in prison. But I guess it's better for you to find him in prison than not at all, because Paul went to prison. Okay? So, again, I see history repeating itself. I've always told you that there's always a character in the Bible that you can relate to out here on these streets. Mm-hmm. Do y'all think that president is gonna pardon Diddy? Mm-mm. Because he's connected with people who are like CEOs and own $1 million, $1 billion companies for him to have gotten where he is. And they are afraid to pardon him because at this point he's a danger to them. That's why I say I don't think so. You don't know where his mind is now because he's basically lost it all. And he knows deep down inside, the president knows that these people are not going to fool with him anymore. They have taken a chance now. And then it was getting too wild and too crazy out there. This might have been a reason why they had to take him out and take his son out because they couldn't be trusted. They was just doing too much. Diddy said himself he couldn't tell his son anything. He wouldn't listen because that's the lifestyle he knows. That's all he knows. And he's been well educated on doing racketeering and all of the stuff that he was doing out there. So to answer your question, Sweetness, from my point of view, no, because he's connected to too many people with money, and the people are not going to trust that he bring them down. And this would bring him down if he start talking and they get investigated, even though they may have been doing the same thing. A couple of weeks ago, Diddy's supposed to be jailhouse lover was unalived. So to me, that was a message to Diddy. I'm going to take him out to show you, you better keep your mouth closed because you're going to be next. That was a warning, so far as I'm concerned. Why take out an innocent man that ain't got nothing to do with this? Because he's connected with you and they're sending you a message. Tinsley is speaking to Trucker's wife and Miss Audrey. And Ramona J said, Sweetness, I hope not. Y'all, in these next 4 years, you're going to see some stuff that you ain't never seen before. And I just feel like it's going to get so bad, God is going to have to step in. Just look at these streets out here. What people are selling to the people out here on social media. What they're saying, what they're doing, they are corrupting minds right out here. And people are following this craziness. They don't have a clue as to why people are doing what they're doing. Remember, it's going to get worse before it get better. Miss Audrey thinks that he might. I don't. They got him right where they want him. And what good would he do? He's not going to be any good to Trump. He already got Elon. He got his money bank on the side of him. They know they can't trust him. No, I don't see it like that. He got Kanye out, but I think Diddy case a bit harder. I don't see the use to get him out. And now that his son is in jail too, because he know he gonna be doing some stuff on the outside and pestering and bothering people to try to get his son out also. Now, he would be too much of a nuisance for them to let him go. They let the man who killed the person in the Capitol out. But he ain't no threat to them. Diddy could be a threat to a whole lot of people. In his service say, true, Ms.V, the mentors are gone. Very sad. Yes. Yes, Kanye is in Japan for life, I believe. Yeah, he went on. And that might have been the best thing to happen to him because a lot of stuff happened to him also with his mother going in for plastic surgery, and all of a sudden she's gone. He got involved with the Kardashians, had a couple of kids, and that didn't turn out too well for him. And then he started like telling it himself. And he said they did everything to him that they could do to him. And here we are just thinking that this man might be bipolar, or it was what was happening to him. You never know what's going on behind closed doors. The colors blend with your skin tone. Thank you, in his service. I do have an olive green to my skin tone. I didn't know you could see that. I picked the right colors. Oh, thank you, Carol. Okay. Sweetness say, a trucker's wife, Ramona J, I hope not either. These people followed them around long enough. They investigated them. They did discovery on them. They just about know right now how much time they going to give him, if they going to give him life too. And I think that neither one of them will live a full life now like they would have lived if they had stayed on the outside. It's too much pressure on them. Coming out of a celebrity world into prison, R. Kelly would do better than them because he's more humble. He probably has connected so much better, and he's sitting there and sing to them and get them to like him. Diddy has that attitude where he still hasn't humbled himself enough where he is even blending with them. If you're in the rec yard and you are out in the corner by yourself, and when people do try to talk to you, okay, that's it. You're not even making a complete sentence. That will break you down mentally. That will destroy you. And Diddy's son is going to go through a lot of changes too, because both of them, I know Diddy went in there on drugs and they had to detox him. He was sweating and he was doing a whole bunch of stuff, shaking, and the son is probably the same way. So just getting through that detox for them couple of days, that they have to go through that with putting IVs in to put the vitamins back in and the nutrients that they need that they're not getting. Just adjusting to prison food is a big deal when you've had a chef in the kitchen and you order what you want to. It's a different life. I wouldn't dare ever want to live that life or wish that life on anybody. Good morning, Go Getter. It's Sunday and the weather is nice. It is, Go Getter. The sun is not out, but it's not raining, and it was supposed to rain last night. I didn't even look outside to see if it had been raining, but at least it's not raining now. Sweetness is saying, I'm loving the green. Thank you, Sweetness. And then I had some earrings in there, and I don't know if they match or not, but I thought I'm going to have to pull them off anyway because she's not going to let us wear them in the choir stand. Okay. Good morning, Christopher. Grand Risings. How are you, Christopher? Y'all, I need 20 likes. And that says, love all you beautiful ladies, even the ones I don't know. That's just the way my heart is. And it is. She ain't faking it, y'all. From channel to channel to channel. She loves everybody and never says or does anything that is going to hurt anybody. Ms.V, please send regards to your pastor. Thank you. All right, I will, in his service. And y'all catch the morning service at 10:15 on Facebook. Greater Barbers, Barbous Chapel. And if you missed the live, then you can catch the replay because they stay up there. We have good church service. Everybody leave out and they're feeling good. He's not one of these feel good preachers like Joel Osteen, who we have here in Houston. I call him a feel good preacher because it's like he tells you what you want to hear. This one going to tell you, thus says the Lord. Okay, whether you like it or not. Um, what happened? In his service to prayers for her. Oh, for Tinkerbell. Okay. Just figured it out because I'm just getting down here. Trucker's wife was over here from the very beginning, and she's been dealing with a lot of illnesses in her life, but she's a trooper. She's been battling them. um and I don't think you were over here. I know you weren't at that time, and that, so I'm glad y'all are meeting each other. Is Tinkerbell's in here, Christopher? Because I haven't seen her. I would love to know what's going on. Passing through. Have a glorious day. You too, in his service. Okay. Yes, Ms.V, you have many different pollens in the air. Have an allergy test done to know what it is. Okay, trucker's wife, because I'm going to call tomorrow. I'm sick of this. I just feel stopped up right in here in the T-zone area. And I never can get all the mucus out of my head. Okay. Let's see. Beautiful Miss Audrey, you are so right. Beautiful lady, that Mucinex works good. I love that. I ain't doing no more over the counter. I'm going to the doctor now. This has lasted too long. But I appreciate that. Regards to your pastor, I'll shut in recovering. So this is my way to worship. Okay, well, please catch the service, in his service over on Facebook, 10 o'clock, Greater Barbers Chapel. And that says, and if you ain't happy with the smaller things, God bless you with, he won't bless you with the bigger things. And that's facts. You got to be faithful over a few things. Mm-hmm. Oh, and I found out too, I saw another article out there that says that they are now investigating the people who worked in his house, like the cooks and the maids and all the folks that kept up the yard work and all of that, that they're talking to them now, who would know any more about what was going on in that house than they would. But I wondered, when they start investigating them and talking to them, are they going to be charged with anything because they knew what was going on? This is really getting interesting now. Okay, any services saying, yes, exactly. We are on solid foundation, Ms.V. Our rock is strong. Yes, because I got a lot of day ones over here. Um, and they said, I don't pray for what I want. I pray for what I need. And that's it. Why praying for stuff you want and you need something else? Now, you know that don't make a lick of sense. You need transportation to get back and forth to work, which could be a car that's running good, don't even have to be new, but it's running good and ain't gonna stop out there on the road and it'll get you from A back to B, but you sitting up there praying for Mercedes, BMW, Infinity, what, you don't try to get you a Chevrolet and get on down the road? I don't understand some people. Miss Libra 4 says, I'm still here listening, getting ready for church. Okay, Miss Libra, all I got to do is put on my shoes and hit the road. Tinsley says, I'm great. You looking so sharp, Miss V. Thank you, Tinsley. Trucker's wife, Diddy is connected to high ups. Yes, a lot of high ups. That's billionaires. For all we know, he could be connected to the trucker. We don't know. Hey, this ain't funny, y'all. But you don't know who's connected to who up there on the top of that. You know, it's a lot of millionaires, perhaps billionaires with a whole lot of money to give him that kind of money and let him rise to the top like he did. Because the documentary I was looking at yesterday, it started back from when he was a child. But because his daddy sold drugs and there was always a lot of money flowing through, they showed this little boy he was like a little man living in a little boy's body. He had the cap on, he had jewelry on, he was dressed like a real man was dressed back then with the little plaid pants and I think it was a turtleneck he had on and brand new shoes. And this is how he came out in the hood to play. So this man that was doing the documentary used to be in music, but he left the industry. He's living out in the woods now in a house by himself. He has all of his awards on the wall in a room, in a back room. But he's happy where he is now. He got out of it when he felt like he had enough. And he was the one who grew up with Diddy because they actually ended up moving in the house with him. So he was like Diddy's big brother. He said they bullied him on the streets because he was this little kid that had everything because of his father being a drug dealer and was able to give them everything they needed. And when he walked into his life is when he stopped getting bullied. But then he joined the gang, and he was young when he joined the gang. Actually, when he went to Howard University, he was nobody's dummy to go to Howard University. And there is when he knew, when he went in there, what he wanted to do. He knew he wanted to do music. He knew he wanted to be a music producer. And he just kept climbing and kept climbing. And he started off doing parties and charging for the parties to come in. And just from there, he started connecting with the right people. And he grew his business. But I guess not knowing when enough money, but he did say on the one I looked at with him with the chaplain in prison that his soul was empty. He had gotten to the place where he felt he had no soul, no heart, no nothing. He was just living. When you got everything in the world you want and there's nothing else you can go out there and get. That's how he got into all of this stuff with all these different women and men. He was trying to fulfill his soul, which was empty. That's an ugly life there. Ooh. No president's not going to do that. No, I don't think so either, Tangela. He's a threat at this point. Even if he got out, he won't be the same. And he'll never have the money. And it won't be long before he'll be broke anyway. You cannot keep paying these high-powered attorneys every day that kind of money. And then they're paying some kind of expenses out on the outside. I mean, is the house even paid for? One of them is because he had 2 mansions. But you got insurances. You still got bills on the outside that's got to be paid because you are in hopes that you're going to come out. I think he pretty much has decided now, if they'll take your son down, that's a message to you. You going too. They taking the son down before They taking the daddy down. To me, that's a straight up message. You next. Agreed. They are figuring what to do with this, like Epstein. I just hope he don't end up like Epstein. Because in my wildest dreams, never would I think that Epstein killed himself. I just don't think so. Mm-mm. Either it was like hired for somebody to take him out because he knew he wasn't gonna get out either. And I think they check too often those cells and stuff for him to have time to do that. I just don't see that. I mean, it could have happened that way. I just don't see it. Diddy is broke. Pretty much. I mean, look how long he's been there and look how much money he spends per day. And pretty soon, now that house, is it in Florida? One in California, one in Florida. That one might sell. I think it's that dark room and that tunnel and all of that. You would have to be in the same mindset that Diddy had when he was doing all those things up in that house to want to be up in that house. It's some bad spirits up in there. Mm-mm. It might be ghosts. It might be everything and anything. Who knows what happened up in there? Trucker, you think so? They said he offshored his money. I don't think he offshored all of it. Because he got to have money to pay these attorneys here or they going to walk. They know how much money he got. Here, if he offshored some, that's a good thing because he does have kids left behind and a little baby at that. But he got to have some where they can see that they going to get paid. Sweetness is saying, what? Wow, that makes sense, Ms.V. Yes, I was an analyst by trade. When you have analyzed things much of your life, you have to study things to come up with this was the root cause of the problem. And that's why we mess up a lot out here on the streets, because you don't start with what the root cause of the problem is, because a lot of people don't know what the root cause was. It's just like the confusion with me and the lady over there. They didn't know what the root cause was. They didn't know why she would be so hurt behind me saying what I said, my opinion. And because you didn't know. You hadn't been out here. But if you had been out here, you would have known. That's why I said I did it the way I wanted to do it to end up with the real results. And now you got to be kind of slow bucket if you don't see why this was being done. Everything that happens for a reason. You just got to figure out what this reason is. And then you'll know. Why do you want to attach yourself to people and then detach yourself to people? Boom. That's what you got to figure out. I already knew. And does make sense in the end. I'm telling you, I'm an analyst by trade. I did that for Amoco Chemical 20 years. Analyze products, but I also analyze when it comes to people too. You ain't getting over on me. All I got to do is fall back and figure out the play. It don't take long. Nope. In his service, God is too. He got caught doing that. Once they found out, he has to release those funds. Okay, that's Trucker's wife. Tasha T tried it with Cardi B in his service. God is too, and it didn't work. Well, they can track the money even if it's offshore anyway. And if it was made here in America, American money, You better be sure you know what you're doing when you put it offshore and where you putting it. Okay? Okay, so Yo-Yo is telling me it's 9:54. She just texted me. So that means I need to get out of here because I need to be at church for 10:15. But we'll further this conversation a little bit later on today because I'm sure I will have watched a little bit more documentaries. And y'all might have some things to say that I didn't get to. So hold those thoughts and we'll come back a little bit later on and we'll discuss this later on today. But in the meantime, y'all have a blessed and wonderful Sunday. Get my other shoe on right quick. I'm wearing these this morning. I don't have no green boot shoes. So I'm gonna wear these black ones and get up out of here. Okay, and thank y'all for coming in, and I'll see y'all later on this afternoon. Y'all have a blessed and wonderful Sunday. Any service, I remember to give him the $10 bill, and oh no, put it in the basket. And thank you very much. Y'all be blessed, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.